is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
But the funny thing is like, because people like, well, what's your wife think about all this stuff you talking about? You got the red hat, you got this and all that stuff. I was like, well, we're married and she's known me for 5 6
Is your wife black?
Yeah.
Oh, you go, boy.
Yeah.
We like that. I had to ask.
Yeah. She went to Howard. She's at HBC, and it's black.
Black.
Yeah.
Blackity black.
Dr. We want to be good. All right, Bobby?
Everyone's talking about my new talk show, Live with Carisha. We shoot live on Thursdays in Atlanta. It's amazing. What are you waiting for? Tap in.
Have you ran into him yet? When's he coming on your podcast? I would think that would have happened
I
already.
don't have intentions of inviting Dr. Umar at this time. We just have different philosophical views about what to do when we're in front of a microphone. So as a case point, he's a school psychologist. I'm a licensed therapist. I know what he's doing. He knows what I would be doing. He's been doing this for a long time. My lens is like, I never want to be in a position to where it starts to look like I'm just grifting and getting all these people's money and pandering to people. I don't respect most people that do that. And one of the big gripes I have with him is the level of hypocrisy. I mentioned this on the Fellows with Daily Rap Crew about a month ago.
Okay, so before you say that, what would you say are the top two hypocrite things that you see from him?
The number one is when you try to highlight and talk all the time about black queens, and then you shit on all the people who are in interracial relationships or don't have the type of sexual lifestyle relationship you think they should have. You talk about how they queens, but you ain't wifed them for 30 years. And then number two, they're so good, they're such queen level that they're worth giving children to, but not marrying.
Right.
So I got a problem with that because it's like, in the past, I've dated interracially, and then now I'm with a black woman. My identity as a black man never changed. My moves of what I did in the community never changed. How much money I gave, who I donated to, what I sacrificed, the prisons I worked at. None of that ever changed based on who I was presently dealing with. You can talk about everybody else's relationships, but when we find out all this crazy stuff, listen, everybody got skeletons in their past. What I don't like is you're trying to hold everybody else to a standard that you haven't ever held yourself to.
Right.
If you can't keep saying that black women are queens and they're so amazing, they're so this, and they weren't worth marrying for almost your entire adult life. That's crazy.
That shades gears a little bit.
So to me that's one. And number two is we all know what it is. It's the money. It's the money.
I knew it was coming.
I mean, listen. This is my view about it.
We're talking about the school, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My lens with
This is a big conversation in Philadelphia, y'all. This is hot tea.
Yeah.
No matter what part of Philly you in.
Well, the thing is, with all of us that's actually out there, we look at Dr. Umar like a lot of y'all look at pastors. The money goes in and it never goes to where it's supposed to go. That's how we see it. And that's how we see him. So between the interracial stuff, the black queen stuff that doesn't ever materialize into his real world view, to all the money, you done stole money for the last 15 years from people that look like me. So why would
we're gonna throw allegedly in there just in case.
I did not. I didn't use the word allegedly.
Let's change gears a little bit. I saw the sit down you said with Dave Anderson, and y'all talked about a really good topic about gatekeeping in the black community.
Yeah.
That was really good. I wanted to get your input on that because I seen Dave was just leading the way.
All right. So just real quick for everybody that doesn't know, I'm probably the most terrifying, dangerous man in this room right now, despite how I look. And it's because the people who control how you think, the people who control and dictate how you vote, I'm exposing them. I'm pointing out everything they're doing to convince you and trick you. And I'll say it this way. Who's familiar with Juneteenth? Everybody, right? What was the purpose of Juneteenth? Why we celebrated?
I have no idea.
All right.
Take control of your money and time. Web Community Financial Services helps you win with taxes, business setup, financial coaching, advances up to $8,000. Visit WCFS.pro, built to help you level up.
Juneteenth we obviously got the emancipation, right? We were free from slavery. And then what happened? There were some slaves held in Texas that found out after the fact, which means they were still on the plantation and they didn't realize that they were allowed to leave. And eventually later on they found out like, oh shit, we're free too, right? I'm doing something similar. When I wear a red hat, when I'm speaking out about Democrats, when I'm speaking out about liberals, progressives, far leftist viewpoints, and I'm pointing out some of the things that they've been pushing for 40, 60 years now has been hurting and harming us. And my lens is this. I'm not telling everybody to run to Trump. I'm not telling everybody to run to the Republican side. I'm telling you that you're stuck on an intellectual political plantation, and they use what you say, Black Boule. They use celebrities.
I think that was Dave's way. Dave's word.
They use celebrities. They use pastors. They use influencers. They use everybody that they think they can get you to kind of stay in line, and they don't ever have to actually deliver shit for you.
So my question to you is, because I agree with you 100%. What would your suggestion be to get rid of that the gatekeeping in our community?
All right, so I'm a political deconstructionist. That means that everything that you're going to ask me about politics, I'm going to be bluntly honest and black and white. If you still function and arguing with your family and friends and people on social media about red versus blue, that means you didn't listen to Malcolm X. You didn't listen to James Baldwin. You didn't listen to all the people that warned about your brain being captured. We're a captured electorate. So when you're a captured electorate, that means they can guarantee your vote and they don't have to deliver shit for you. So when the borders get open, and they can let 10, 15 million people in, and they give them money for food, housing, clothing, and they're telling you simultaneously they can't give you reparations. So they're saying there's no money for your schools. They're saying there's no money for you. So when the cost of living is going up, your rent's going up, everything that it takes for you to survive in here is going up. You're not getting help. And they still can find money, your money, and give it to people who just got here yesterday.
So how would you fix it though? Like, what would you?
All right. Well, my first philosophical starting point is we have to start thinking less about the system that you're crazy if you think that the system that you keep saying is rigged and is racist and is full of white supremacists is going to bail you out in the end and look out for you in the end. They're giving you the illusion of two options. Right. It's an illusion. They're on the same team. George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, everybody's been saying the same thing. Even the celebrities that's telling you, it's gonna be bad, it's gonna get worse. They're playing the same script. They're all on the same team. It's the people at the top that's running the plantation. Then they got the the overseers. The overseers are the ones whose job it is to keep you in line. Celebrities, radio hosts, and entertainers, pastors, anybody and everybody that's trying to convince you that the only way for freedom, for liberation, is if you vote this way. Now, my question is this. The definition of insanity is what?
You keep doing something over and over again.
And expecting different results. So if you've been voting the same way your whole life, and your mama been voting the same way your whole life, and her life, and your grandmama been voting the same way up from 60s on, and everything's gotten categorically worse. Maybe the argument isn't necessarily about running to the Republicans or that we got to keep running to the Democrats. My view of what you're asking me is maybe we have to start thinking about what life was like prior to integration. When Dave Anderson talks about it, he wrote a book on it, The Black Independence. As long as you think your freedom and your ability to live and survive is based on the system and the government, you've given them the power to feed you and you've given them the power to starve you.
Right.
Why weren't all the Asians going crazy when SNAP benefits was paused?
You preaching.
Because although they're here, they have Chinatowns everywhere. They got their own banks. They got their own hospitals. They got their own pharmacies. So if you keep thinking through the binary lens they gave you, I'm trying to suggest, hey, Juneteenth is here. You can leave the plantation. Some of us are already planning this stuff. We're not waiting for a political system that was never meant for us to begin with.
I want to just go on just a little bit because you going on.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't want to cut you off, but I have to jump on to my next question.
Sure.
Your next question about when you talked about pretty privilege and the woman with the podcast. How do you feel like that weighs against Black women in the community?
How does pretty privilege weigh against Black women?
Yeah, when you did your platform about the truth about single female influencers.
Oh, yeah. My view and lens on people that keep talking about relationships is the reason why Black women in this country are the most divorced, the least married, and the least likely to get married with the highest single parent households.
At 29 Sky Entertainment, they are introducing fresh talent and creativity to the world. They offer innovative services in marketing, artist development, management, and more. So make sure you follow 29 Sky Entertainment on all social media platforms. They also offer security and truck and Ubering services. That's right, they have all of the resources to help you with your music and deliver your heavy loads all around the world. Don't stress no more as an artist. Find a label that can get behind you and help you get the work done today.
Is because of who you're being influenced by. You've been trained and conditioned both politically, socially, and environmentally that anytime you hear something you don't like, they're lying and they're wrong. But if they tell you something you want to hear, then that must be true. The reality is it's actually the inverse. The reality is the reason, I'll say it this way in terms of what you're asking. You have a whole bunch of people who are speaking over your lives, over your households, over your marriages, and they don't even have the outcomes that you say you want. Why are you listening to people that's never been married, never been in a long-term successful relationship? Y'all listen to people with a doctor behind their name about relationships between men and women when she sleep with women.
Right.
That's crazy. The people that you respect,
So you feel like
the men that you respect the most, in the left on the Democrat side is part of the LGBTQ. You don't listen to men that's telling you you listen, shorty. You might have to clean that up a little bit.
do you feel like those women are just winning off solely off of their looks? Because I know you spoke about that on the podcast.
Yeah. It's a few things. One is pretty privileged, get them in the door in the first place.
Right.
I had to have a license. I had to be working in the field for a decade to even come out here and be confident to talk about some of these things. They have no track record. They have no license. Some of them didn't even become a life coach or anything until 6 months before they start getting on these big ass platforms. I'm not saying that every single person has to be married for you to listen to, but do they have a healed perspective of the opposite sex?
Right.
They usually don't.
Right.
They usually don't. Think of this. If when you watch her or you watch him, who are they pandering to? So Derek Jackson is a great example, right? Derek Jackson, who's his market? Women. So that means when he steps on the microphone, does he ever say anything women don't want to hear?
And then he got caught actually cheating on his wife.
So Derek Jackson is a great example where the man can get caught cheating. It's out in the public. He's frauding y'all, and he still have a big ass audience. Primarily women still supporting it because it tells you what you want to hear. The Democrats know it, the entertainment industry knows it, and a lot of these podcasters and influencers know it. If I tell the women what they want to hear, I can take their money, I can get them to buy tickets, I can do all this shit. And year after year, they're happy with my message, but their life never changes. The reality is every single area, if things are messed up and things are broken, it's because you have friends, influencers, celebrities, and politicians telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. The reality is, there's this whole gender war shit.
Right.
This whole gender war shit. It's not what you think it is. It's men like me finally getting up and saying, if the black community keeps going in this direction, where we're functionally a matriarch, primarily single mother household. A lot of our communities, we come from broken homes, including myself. But women are saying, where's all the men? The men ain't signing up to get married. Everything is declining while y'all are in the driver's seat. So if you won't say, well, where's all the real men? I'm basically saying, get your ass up out the driver's seat.
Ooh.
You can't lead. When you seen what you tried to do for the last 6 years.
You're saying women can't lead?
Not when it comes to an entire community. Not when it comes to political. So when Roland Martin was wearing that shirt that said vote like a black woman, and people keep saying do whatever the black women are saying, how's that worked out?
So what are you?
How's that worked out? Seriously. Testing. How's that work out?
So we gotta move on. You really going deep with it. So where are you taking your podcast at? Like, is this a direction you want to stay in with this type of conversation?
Everything. Like everybody else, everybody got a bunch of different interests. As do I. I like sports. I like politics. I like pop culture. I like music. I'm interested in everything like everybody else is. The difference is my view is I want us to start being more critical. I'm critical thinkers. When it comes to politics, if you vote blue no matter who, or vote red no matter what's said, that means you're not a critical thinker. You can't be a critical thinker in a group think.
Where can everybody follow you at? Because I know they're going to want to tap in and listen to the podcast. I can see you could just go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm learning as I hear you talk. But where can we follow you at? Where can everybody stream the Ask a Brother podcast?
Yeah, Ask a Brother podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Pretty soon we're going to launch on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Twitter/X.
Well, listen, y'all. This is my first business highlight. Just St. James, but Ask a Brother podcast, checking on the Live with Carisha show. You know where to follow him. Follow me on all platforms at Carisha Diva. As always, stay fabulous, stay blessed. Peace. Ooh, I like that one.